Hello guys, today we are going to look into various types of experiments. So there are basically three types of experiments: the laboratory experiment, field experiment, and naturalistic experiment. So let's first look into the lab experiment. So most of the lab experiments are conducted in a lab setting, but it is not really the criteria for it to be a lab experiment. It is when the experiment is far away from the real life situation, and it is also when the independent variable is being manipulated and the dependent variable is measured, right? And also, you'll have much more control over the variables, the extraneous variables, and you will have a standardized procedure in conducting the whole study, which means that the study is can easily be replicated. Okay. So, since one of the examples, one of the classic examples of the of lab experiment would be the Milgram study. So, in this, the IV was manipulated, the dependent variable was measured, and it was in a lab setting. It was far away from the real life situation, and therefore the ecological validity is very low. So, how is field experiment different from a lab experiment? The main difference is that the field experiment is conducted in a real life situation. Even in the field experiment, we manipulate the independent variable. Okay. We probably introduce some stooges, or we, in other means, manipulate the IV, and we measure the dependent variable probably through observation. Okay, so we do that as well. But the main difference, other than this being conducted in a real life situation, is that we have less control over the extraneous variables. Okay, less control over the extraneous variables because it is in a real life situation and we have no control over anything that's happening there. All we can do is probably observe and record whatever that is happening. But since it is a naturalistic a real life situation, the ecological validity is definitely going to be high compared to the lab experiment. Now, moving on to the naturalistic experiment, how is this different from a field experiment? The main difference is that we are not intruding in the natural habitat of the subjects that we are studying. Okay, so you go into a classroom, you observe the students without them knowing, probably through a camera, or probably when the teacher watches the students and records the behavior. It's basically a naturalistic study because you are not intruding in their natural environment. Everything is going according to how it is supposed to happen. But you, yet again, probably, through overt observation, you are observing what is happening in there and then you are studying it. So here again, you have no control over the extraneous variables. You are observing and measuring what is happening in there, but you are not, again, manipulating anything in there. No manipulation. Yeah. So again, since it is, you know, uh, a real life situation, the ecological validity is going to be really high compared to any other experimental methods. Okay, experimental types. Now, I'm guessing that you understood the basic differences between these three experiments. And if you have any doubts, please feel free to comment. And also, if you like the video, please subscribe. And thank you for watching. Bye bye.